Hello and welcome everybody back to another episode of Orcs Must Die. Today we are going to tackle restricted sections on Riftlow difficulty. Reasoning behind that, I've seen a couple of plays in sabotage games when people didn't knew how to properly do this map. Usually they are doing it in a team. That's kind of the problem of sabotage right now, because all strategies are team focused. And every team-focused strategy leads to a loss, usually. So the idea is to do it solo. That's what I'm doing today, and I would like to show you how to do it. So, as you see, I completed it with Midnight in 1333. I went a little bit hardcore on this, try hard rather, and completed it just in time. Filled it with Maxwell a little bit, also got some... Oh, I also did it with Bianca in part-time, 1428. So, we are definitely going to do it with Midnight. The strategy is in the end the same, it just depends on the hero you prefer to protect certain entrances directly, to reduce the time. So in the end it doesn't matter about the hero. Let's go with Midnight, just because I'm more certain of her abilities than about any other hero. What do we go for? A Ring of Storm. Is it necessarily? Yes and no. It's definitely helpful against a huge crowd of enemies. It's definitely supportive. A huge benefit, also considering mana. Midnight has no mana issues, except if you're going visible. Then a Ring of Storms is quite beneficial. The Guardians are not a huge deal. One is preferred, one priest and a shield guardian. You need the shield guardian at the beginning of the for the first 2 or 3 waves. He is relatively helpful. Also a priest, just to keep every enemy who reaches the section down there, the priest section, will have to pass through him. We definitely need barricades. We have to create a certain path for them. We need brimstone against sapper waves. Also, another note, sappers usually spawn at the beginning of a wave. So having a brimstone lying in front of the entrance is highly beneficial. Tartrap, of course. Basically a combination between Tartrap, Grinder, and the bowling ball. If you do not have a bowling ball, might be a little bit more difficult. Then you have to go with 1 or 2 more swinging maces, which are usually not required if you have an arcane bowling ball. So, then what else do we need? We definitely need to reduce the cost for our primary damage traps, which are brimstone against the sappers, and grinders against everything else. Swing maces, again, it's just beneficial, it's not required. If you have bowling balls, there is no real need for any other trap. You could go for some floor scorchers, also probably some ceiling ballistas. Summoner trap is not required, probably in front of the entrance, but it usually costs more time than it brings benefits. Also, boom barrels could help out, but are not necessary. Let's go with them anyways. Also, physical trap. Then we need something to tank the enemies, considering we do have Midnight. She's relatively squishy, so we definitely need something to stay alive. In that case, lifesteal and armor. Also, high pain tolerance, which is actually more beneficial considering she has 2 regenerative abilities. Weavers, rather. 2 regenerative weavers at the end. Also, ultimate set of tools. It's basically, at this point, mandatory, considering the bonus attack damage and the trap damage. Highly beneficial. Let's go! And let's see if I can stand to my word that this layout will save your sabotage game. So, sabotage on my channel is not going to be soon. I won't play it for quite a long time. I need a team. I want a team. I had difficulties with a teammate on restricted section, where you tried to go for a different layout. A layout that was focused on team play and not on solo play. The exact same loadout was done by the enemy team, and it cost their game. We won on the third wave. Alright, there we go. So, first off, we have to close up this area, and we also have to create this path right there. There we go, that's so far. Then we need a brimstone, a tantrip right from the get-go, and also a power generator, just to be safe. The entire layout is relatively expensive, and especially if the traps aren't upgraded, it's highly beneficial to go with as much money as possible to create an extremely big layout to store some time, to save some time. So this is also the same layout I used to gain 5 stars during the first wave. The rest of the layout will be done later. There you go, let's go with 1 barricade, that should be enough. 1 ball, right from the get-go. Actually, let's go with...
Just like circles.
Yeah, 1 tower should be enough. Let's go. So, again, the most crucial points are the first and the second wave. Those are the 2 biggest concerns. Especially the first wave. The first wave has to cross the power generator. As many as possible. Of course, it will be a little bit harder due to the fact that we have the... Whoops, wrong one. That we have a guardian. But in the end, it should be fine. There we go. The first ones are coming through. And as you see, they are staying close to the right side, where the trajectory of the bowling ball will hit them. That's the entire point. We'll also create more combinations, which if you're going for points, leaderboards, if there is a leaderboard, well, they're straight to beneficial. Here we go. So the boom barrel will be placed on top. Is it beneficial? Not really. They will stay close to the bookshelf anyways, so you don't necessarily need a boom barrel. It's less beneficial. However, it makes sense to place one right there. So they will be hit as soon as they... Oh, it's wrong direction. There we go. More tankiness. Help, help, help. There we go. We did it. Ah! It's currently less good right now. I'm making way too many mistakes. But the idea should be clear. Let's go with more brimstone right here, so we have it right. So we have done it. As you see, the brimstone is a little bit cheaper. There's an unstable lift. There we go. First on panic. Which is actually not that bad. It will provide more money in the end. As you see with Midnight, it doesn't take too long to murder them. So again, into the brimstone. They have the short spring, which ultimately means we can place more brimstones. And they do have a longer cooldown period, which is not the worst thing in actuality, because the cooldown is around 0.2 seconds per charge, which is still enough to take down the majority of Zapdos. There we go, and the last one. And there we go. At this point we don't care about the Guardian anymore, we do have enough coins. we do have a solid layout right here. Let's go with another power generator just to be safe. And considering we do have already 2 power generator, we can freely go with more armor, even though we will require some money. But it does not matter. There we go. So that's for those couple of waves. Of course, time-wise, they need to be tanked relatively early. That's the unfortunate part. More or less. Especially for the first couple of waves, so after the second wave, it's important to murder them as fast as possible. To get more air. More breathable air while... well, time-wise. More breathable air, time-wise. So, however, it might be a mistake going with cheaper brimstone, I just realized. This sapper came too far. Oh, right. The boss minion has been taken down, this is great. And right, we still cannot tank the big guys. Midnight is straight up not in the position to tank them. Even though with high pain tolerance, she does not have enough HP to be a full-on tank. Unlike Bianca or... well, or anyone else, basically. Even Blackpaw has more HP, which gives him a few more points of survivability in the end. So we don't need the break, we can go right away. And considering we do have only this side, we should... and we can tank them directly. The ones who are going through, does not matter. And the ones who are not going through, it also does not really matter. Then in this case we definitely go with... I already forgot the name of the Weaver. The one that releases the counter controls. And there we go. Wave is cleared. And there we go, we see. The recharge... not as quick, but it's quick enough. And in case of emergency we'll still have a second brimstone. So it's not that little damage in the end. Oh, there we go. Hit the shield. Missed the right click on that one. There we go. Majority is dead. Now we can start to panic, considering we do have yellow enemies. Dynamite archers. There we go. Let's go with more speed. Die relatively soonish. It's unfortunate they focused me down. This is not where I want to be, but it's fine. It's fine so far. There we go, 6 minutes. 7th wave. That's more or less a relatively comfortable position to be, time-wise. There we go. The entrance right here, the upper area, is the only entrance that can cost a lot of time. So that's why it should be the highest interest or the highest focus to murder those enemies as fast as possible. Of course, in that case it does not matter, considering we are still having enemies spawning from the first rift. From the first entrance, rather. So there we go. And it appears that the second power generator is relatively useless. It's not necessarily a huge problem. What do we have? We do have the bear. Where's he coming from? He's not coming. It should be a small yellow star. So there we go, we go with more tankiness. As soon as an enemy dies, we will receive some HP. Ah, the trolls are making it through. It's not a very good position, but it's fine. So there we go, that's the first moment we can panic, because I entirely forgot about this direction. It should be fine. It should be entirely fine though. Go with a couple more. And exploding barrels right here above the enemies. Of course, on a higher level, the barrel rollers are incredibly beneficial due to their extremely low cooldown, with their necessary parts, of course. So the longer the map takes, or let's say the more waves there are on the map, the lower the cooldown becomes. Which is actually great. It's literally raining justice from above. Alright, there we go. Let's go with another bowling ball. The benefit of the bowling ball is... Okay, we have to murder the grenadiers. They're able to ruin the entire game. Okay, a couple of enemies are coming through. That's not a huge problem. However, it's relatively unfortunate we forgot to build the rest of the maze. Anyways, what I was referring earlier. The benefit from the bowling ball is that this trap penetrates enemies, unlike arrow balls. They do inflict damage to the first target they hit, so that's the primary disadvantage. They do not have any penetration. Basically speaking, trolls with shields can block everything. There we go. 5 minutes for 3 waves. Relatively clutch. It'll be okay. Let's see how far they can get through. There we go. They are coming through here. It's relatively far. It should be fine. Oh, the freaking hunters are still bugged. Ah, it's okay though. So there's one super wave. That shouldn't be an issue. Almost 4 minutes 40 waves. Let's see how that works out. Should be in a relatively comfortable position. Still, every wave should take less than a minute. So it's fine in that case. And there are still enemies spawning from the rift. So that means we can... Oh, never mind. The rest will be down relatively soonish. There we go. No breaks needed. Almost 3 minutes for 2 waves.
A boss is on his way.
And considering we do have them spawning only from here, or even... the rift is not helpful.
Boss minion defeated.
So there we go, we do have to take care of the rift. Oh! It's a hunter. Not a problem. And we have to deal with the big one. And there we go. Problem solved. Then we can go with more damaging traps. Actually, we can remove the tar entirely. Go with another grinder. And probably a brimstone. Okay, the sides are the first. And for instance, spawning the enemies first. And there we go. This wave might be a little bit harder, and also I'm not quite sure how long it takes. Definitely lower than less than 2 minutes. Go, boss defeated. So that right here is the primary killing box. So without an arcane bowling ball, you could place a couple swing misses right here for the first 2 rifts. Actually, for the first 3 rifts, or you can go with some ceiling ballistas or dragon lances. Right there. Also, what's extremely beneficial, that bowling ball right there, and I missed. There we go. 3.2 million. Look at that. Also gained an achievement. You 50,000 damage with gear. Oh, look at that. And that's a reality I use here. So it's 3.2. Even got a new score. That's great. So yeah, that's the strategy on restricted sections, how to do them relatively easy. You can also just... You don't have to hurry. If you hurry a little bit less, you still can do it on 4 stars. So basically it's an easy completing mission, and you don't need a weird layout between the bookshelves. Just force them down to the rear. I also forgot to place the guardian, and then murder the primary of the enemies right there, in case of emergency. You can force them to go down this hallway, and then you can start with your usual loadout that most people are familiar with, or just sending them through the bookshelves. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I could help you by creating a strategy for sabotage rounds in terms of restricted sections. If it helped out, like it. If it didn't, the dislike button is on the right side, I guess. Anyways, just dislike it if you feel like it. If you have any points to improve or any feedback whatsoever, just leave a comment in the section down below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.